Hello, my name is Mars, and welcome back to Scarlet Hollow. We are starting episode 3 with Willow. She did something in the last episode that I don't think even she expected that she would do. She went back and saved Becca and Alexis from the mine collapse. Rosalina got her leg crushed as a result, but at the very least, all three girls got out alive for the time being. So that's where she is, and what she's grappling with as she wakes up this morning. I do not need to see a recap, no. Sunshine filters in through the dusty windows of the estate as the dull aches of last night's activities throb in and out of focus. You manage to survive a second night in the town of Scarlet Hollow. As you pull yourself out of bed, you can feel the soot and grime of the Shaw mine still stuck to your skin. Take a shower. You step into the guest bathroom and into the shower. The water is hot and, surprisingly enough, clean. As steam fills your lungs and soot washes down the drain, Let's not think about someone special just yet. Think about Sybil's warning. No, we don't care about Sybil. I think we're still thinking about Gretchen. Poor Gretchen. I think that's a choice we kind of regret a little bit. Letting Gretchen die. And that's not to say that Willow wishes she had let Duke die, but she feels bad about discounting Gretchen just because she's an animal. Because she could see in her final moments how much she and Stella meant to each other, and it kind of gave her pause. You think about Gretchen and Stella's face as she pulled the trigger. You're done here. You turn off the faucet and dry yourself off. And there it flies. Time to start your day. Check on Dustin. There are two of them now. Now, Willow likes Dustin. I don't think she has as strong an opinion of Dustin Mom. You'll see. Morning, Dustin. Who's your friend? Her name, Mom. She come to visit. I, Dustin Mom. Gonna stay with Dustin until glass house empty. Dustin says you're not dangerous. Dustin is fool. All humans dangerous. Mom not understand, Dustin. What happened to your glass house? Asshole squatter move in. Kick Dustin Mom out. Squatter tried to eat Mom. Squatter evil. Squatter may be asshole, but squatter not evil. It just try to survive, like all creature. Dustin still have much to learn. I personally love Dustin Mom. I think she is the best parent in this entire town. We're not gonna ask these possums for consolation. We like Dustin, but we don't like him that much, enough to lean on him. We're gonna close the drawer without saying goodbye. You close the drawer. Rude to close drawer without goodbye. And yeah, that really rattles Willow. She doesn't like that kind of judgment. And she will from now on have a negative opinion of Dustin Mom. That's that. Look out the window. You hold your breath and approach the bedroom window. After finding that boot print in viscera in the garden yesterday, you can't help but anticipate something staring back at you. It's the same view. Turn back. Text Kaneeka. You pull out your phone to text Kaneeka. I think that Willow likes to communicate. They always give these options of sending a GIF or a meme. And I think that's the kind of thing that Willow tends to lean on. She is wondering how things are with Miles. She does kind of want to, offer some support in that instance, but she's a little scared. So she's gonna express her feelings via humor. Send her a photo of an exhausted Ben Affleck, rendered beautifully by Abby Howard. You send her a photo of an exhausted Ben Affleck. It'll probably be a bit before you get a response. Message the group chat as well. You pull out your phone and open up your group chat with Stella and Kaneeka. Send a photo of a pained old man. That's what it means by pained old man. Alright. And I think when you text Stella, it's a picture of... It's a meme of Kermit the Frog, and there are like a million Kermit the Frog memes, but it's like... But they can't say Kermit the Frog, so they say something like a picture of a frazzled puppet. It's very funny. Alright, we're not gonna bother checking the closet. We don't care about that doll. Head downstairs. You've done everything you've wanted to up here. It's time to start your day. You enter the kitchen to find your cousin in the midst of devouring a pint of banana chocolate chunk. She isn't alone. Frou-Frou glares at you from her usual spot on the counter as a red-headed woman busies herself trying to tidy as best she can. Vile woman, destroying the natural order of my kitchen. Tabitha's gaze swivels from the woman to you, her glare intensifying. I'm sorry if you can hear my cats playing with a cardboard box in the background. What should we say? Should we talk to animals anything? We don't want to say hi to Frou-Frou. Maybe we're concerned about if anyone lives out in the garden. Nobody lives out in the garden, right? Gosh, I wouldn't know. Miss Tabitha won't let me touch the place. Nobody lives in the garden. Why are you even asking? Why are you always so dodgy? Is there or isn't there something out there? Why are you always so confrontational? If you really want to juke it out over nothing, how about we save it for when we're not around Janie? See, Tabitha interprets street smarts answers as confrontational as well. It's not just me. I don't know what's out there. You've seen what I have to do for a living. I can't keep stock of whatever creatures roam a garden I don't even have time to use. Gosh, you two sound a little heated. Is everything alright? We're fine, Janie. Alrighty then. Y'all just let me know if there's anything I can do to help. I forget. Did I give her a drawl in my first playthrough? I don't remember. I don't think Janie necessarily has a drawl. I think she's just very bright and cheery. Right, we're not gonna address Frou-Frou. We've squandered our opportunity to say hello to Janie. Since we're being rude and confrontational already, why not we say, oh, are we having ice cream for breakfast? I'll have no sass from you today. They apparently had to take that little girl's foot last night. So I'm under a lot of stress right now, in case you hadn't put that together. And there is no we here. This stuff is way too hard to get a hold of for me to share. Tabitha takes one last spoonful of ice cream, then discards the empty container, turning to you with her trademark scowl. Let's get going. I've got an errand to run in town, and every time we've left you here alone, something terrible's wound up happening. So you're coming with me. We can street smart. I'll be out there in a couple of minutes. Interesting. I mean, we should comment on the foot. Take her foot? Jesus, Tabitha, you're not mincing words. What, you'd rather I sugarcoat what happened? You'd rather I say, unfortunately, they weren't able to save the leg? That kid was brave, and she was horrifically punished for it. Sparing the grisly details does her a disservice for our own comfort. Now, shall we go, or would you rather keep bombarding me with guilt for something I had nothing to do with? Let's lie. I'll be out there in a couple minutes. Gotta wrap up my morning routine. I feel like shit from last night, and I still have to wrap up my morning routine. Are you seriously asking for time alone here after you just probed me about whether the garden has a squatter problem? What do you take me for, an idiot? I'm already behind on my day. I don't have time to deal with hijinks. Maybe if we hadn't mentioned the squatter, we would have had the opportunity to go out there. Huh. Janie, lock up when you leave, please. And don't go rearranging anything. I'll know. As you're ready to leave, Janie approaches from the far side of the kitchen. Tabitha remains between the two of you, impatiently tapping her foot. Oh, Willow, before you go, I heard about what happened last night. I heard about it before Miss Tabitha mentioned it just now, and then I heard it again. I just wanted to say that I'm so sorry you got caught up in that. I'll be praying for Oscar and poor little Rosalina. They're such sweethearts. Couldn't have happened to nicer people. Hold on 1 second. Yeah? Okay. Sorry about that. What should we say here? Sorry Tabitha's so mean to you. I'd love to chat, but I hate to interrupt your work. It's been nice meeting you, but I gotta bounce. Have you seen anyone prowling around the estate? I think Janie's friendliness makes Willow a little uncomfortable. So we're gonna mosey our way out of this. I'd love to chat, but I'd hate to interrupt your work. I'm in town for another few days, though, if you've got time. Of course, feel free to swing by the church any old time. Daniel and I are always there. Except when I'm working, of course, but Daniel's usually there regardless. Alright, let's go. Bye, Janie. Be safe out there, you two. You and Tabitha walk through the doors of the estate and into her car. The ride to town is uneventful. Your cousin, unsurprisingly, more focused on the road than on making conversation. Yeah, I think we've burned the friendship bridge far too brightly to turn it around. Needless to say, she will not be coming ghost hunting with us. Alright, we're just popping into the general store for a few minutes. Say nothing. You and Tabitha turn as the door to the general store bursts open. A flustered Kaneeka exits, shouting behind her. Fine, okay, keep coddling him. Keep letting him get away with stuff you never would have let me so much as think about. I'm sick of carrying this family. Kaneeka storms off, the door slowly drifting shut behind her. Ugh, other people and their drama. If more people kept things to themselves, they'd be a lot happier. I'm glad she's finally letting loose. Maybe her family will stop taking advantage of her. Good for her, honestly. Yeah, let's do the street smart option. She's been so measured since I met her. Maybe her family will finally stop taking advantage of her. Her family is taking advantage of her because she lets them, not because she's normally measured and composed. A display like this means nothing if she's still here next year, and yet again the year after that. If anything, it just tightens the ties that bind her here. I think you're only saying that because you want to leave. We got some street smart options, but why do you care so much? I'm curious to see if this thread goes anywhere. Come on already, let's go. The bells of the general store chime as you cross the threshold. I said something that I don't think Willow necessarily would have, but I was interested. We got two sets of street smart options in a row. So I thought maybe following one thread would lead somewhere interesting, but nah. Maybe if we were better friends with Tabitha. The bells of the general store chime as you cross the threshold. The smells of old wood and steamy herbal tea flood your senses, making you feel instantly at home. Good morning, you two. Hope you're doing well after last night's activities. Morning. Is the new blend ready? Of course. Willow, if you'd like to keep Miles company, Tabitha and I will be just a minute. Now, we're not gonna make the weed joke. I don't think Willow does drugs, even though she's street smart. We're concerned about Kaneeka. Is Kaneeka okay? Of course, she just needs time to cool down. Emotions are a little high, considering everything that happened yesterday. She'll settle down soon enough. I'm just glad both of my little ones made it out okay. Sybil motions for Tabitha to follow, and they both disappear into the tea room. closing the door behind them with the tinkling of bells. What does Miles' shirt say? It obviously has some words on it. I'm curious. I wonder what it says. Let's try and listen in. You find a settled spot near the door and listen in. The walls of the tea room are surprisingly thick, and you can only make out snippets of the conversation. I know it. Longer, short notice. Aren't easy to come by. Is there enough? Just fine. Make sure this is all. Not keeping it. You only have one. Plenty of times. Your listening session is halted as the tinkling of bells announce another patron. Or in this case, another 2 patrons. Hi, Bo! You're still my favorite. Well, if it ain't Willow. Bo, this is Miss Scarlet's cousin. She was there with me that night in the woods. It's a pleasure to meet you, miss. My name is Bo. I'm Duke's boy. Hope you've been faring better since all that unpleasantness. How have you been, hanging in there? Oh, I can't complain. I miss old Birdie. Right, we couldn't save Birdie because we don't have physical strength. But there's nothing I can do for her now except protect the rest of my brood. Them things won't so much as step foot on my property. Not with Bo and me watching the perimeter with our shotguns at the ready. Everyone always talks about how if you have powerful build, you can save both Gretchen and Duke. No one ever talks about how you need powerful build to save Birdie too. No one cares about that chicken. That is an important life to save. We even set the missus up with her pistol. Good thing we was watching. Nearly caught Julius trying to make off with Big Betty. As if he could have carried off a nearly 2,000-pound pumpkin on his own. I'd almost love to see him try. We learned about Big Betty. We know this already. It's not like we'll be taking her to the state fair anyway. Now all she's good for is making the world's largest pumpkin pie. I don't think Mama has a tin big enough for a Big Betty-sized pie, Daddy. Who's Julius again? The name rings a bell. Julius Tremaine. He practically spits the name. Some cousin, however many times removed, though I don't claim him as my kin. He owns the farm next to ours, except he doesn't seem to have a good grasp on whose property is whose. Thinks he owns half our land, always sneaking around and taking vegetables we planted. Of course, the way he tells it, we're the ones stealing from him, saying he's the one putting seeds in the ground. He's a miserable old cuss, and he knows it too. Stealing vegetables born of other folks' hard labor is probably the only joy he has in his life. Have you seen any of those creatures around your farm? She says curiously. Yeah, we saw a few of those things. They got scared off before I could start shooting. Nasty little buggers. We've all been losing sleep just making sure we keep an eye on things. It's even rubbing off on the hens. None of the little ladies have been laying this week. You know, Daddy, I bet some big mastiff could keep them things away. This seems like just the kind of job for a guard dog. Now don't you start again, we ain't getting a dog. I got enough mouths to feed, and as much as you say you'll take responsibility, I know it'd be me cleaning up after it. I love that moment. Bo's like, Dad, can we have a doggy? Can we get a puppy? It's a great little moment. Even though he's a grown man, that's still basically what he's saying. Besides, I don't have much faith those things would be stopped by a dog. I saw more than a few in that nest. The things we saw on Monday are called ditchlings, and they're a bad omen. Ditchlings? Sounds like some old folk tale. Suppose that suits them. As for being an omen, I believe that too. But I suppose there's not much to be done if they're forewarning some kind of disaster, besides looking out for me and mine. Still, I appreciate you telling me, Willow. I'll leave you to it. It was a pleasure running into you, Willow, but we best get on with our shopping. Can't spend too long away from the farm, what with those little devils running around. Can't leave Mama all by herself up there for very long. You have a good one. Hope Scarlet Hollow treats you better from now on. It was nice meeting you, Willow. And please tell Miss Scarlet I'm sorry about her mama. They shuffle off into the aisles. The Callaways, the secret stars of this game. Tabitha and Sybil are still in the tea room. I need to take a... I don't have tea with me. I have a glass of water. I need a sip of water. Your phone buzzes. Oh my god, hey, I overslept. Still gotta make myself breakfast. If y'all want, you can swing by. Otherwise, meet at the library and figure out plan. I think I'm good. Not really hungry. See you guys at library. And then it buzzes again. Sliding into the DMs, are we? If you want to hang out before the library thing, I'm parked in the abandoned lot by the gas station. It's hard to miss. You have plenty of time before dinner at Reese's house. We're gonna go meet with Kaneeka. I'm excited. If this scene plays out the way I want it to, it's a really good scene. You follow the directions Kaneeka texted you and soon find yourself in a disused parking lot hidden behind the shuttered shops on Main Street. She's sitting alone in the back of her van. But she notices you lurking on the edge of the parking lot and waves, her troubled expression brightening into a smile. Hey, you made it. Hop on in. Sorry if this is a weird place to hang out. I'm, taking a mental health day. I kinda need some space from the store. Plus, I feel like an ass. I'm exhausted and a little out of it. Must have inhaled too much coal dust last night. Well, you look great. Aw. Are you trying to lay down the charm on me? Maybe it's working. Keep it up and see. Do you think something in the mines made you sick? We're not worried about contagion. We're worried about her. Kaneeka reflects on your question and shudders. I was chalking it up to spending too much time breathing in the old mine dust, but with whatever happened to Wayne, I don't want to think about it. Are you sick? I'm tired, but I don't think I'm sick. Okay, I think that's a relief. Normal sick and coal dust-induced asthma I can handle. Skin melting off, not so much. How are you doing after last night? We're not gonna confront her about this quite yet. Huh, not great if you couldn't tell by now. At least I was able to get sleep once the adrenaline wore off, even if I barely feel like I got any rest at all. Before things got heated with my folks, Mom gave me some more of this tea that's supposedly good for, I don't know, recovery? Rejuvenation? It must have been caffeinated or something because it did not help me fall asleep. But it's kind of helping with the headache, and at least it tastes good. What about you? I hate it here and want to leave. That's understandable. At least once the week is up, you have a ticket out of here. I recommend getting on that bus and never looking back. Don't let yourself get trapped here like the rest of us. What's going on with you and your folks? She sighs. Why does she say folks? In my experience, folks usually means parents. But she only has her mother left. Does she just mean her family when she says folks? Like, including her brother? That's interesting. That's a colloquialism I've never heard. Are you sure you want me to get into it? I don't want to dump all that drama on you. Of course, I'm here for you. Thanks, Willow. I really appreciate that. Especially since you were there last night, you'll really get it. Coming out of something like that unscathed and knowing not everyone was so lucky, there's no way to really imagine how that feels until it's happened to you. So after I got home last night, I had to deal with my brother. He really made me feel like I was the bad guy, especially once we got home. Like what happened to Rosalina was my fault. And Mom didn't help. She never does. She always takes his side, saying he's young and allowed to make mistakes. Mistakes that I could never dream of getting away with. When we told her what happened, she just said the same shit she always does about family and getting along and sent us to bed with tea. Her favorite method of conflict resolution. As if a little hot leaf water ever really helped anybody. Hey? Hot leaf water can be very therapeutic when it's not being magically drugged by your mother, that is. Your fault, that's rich. Right? It kinda boiled over this morning, though. She wound up blaming me for letting Miles sneak off into the mines, saying that if I'd been working like I was supposed to, he wouldn't have gotten into trouble. Like I'm supposed to be in charge of a sullen teenager every second of the day. While working. And it's not like I don't care, I'm always stressing out about that kid, or the store, or the million other little things I'm supposed to deal with. None of this should be on me. These are the best years of my life, and I'm wasting them in this dying town, keeping a store afloat while my mom just messes around with her little herbs or whatever. I'd made it out of here, damn it! I'd gotten into grad school. I was good at it. I was going to graduate with honors and everything. But Dad died, and I came back for the funeral. Then I had to stick around just to help Mom sort out a few things. First it was a month, then 2. And now here I am, over a year later, and those few things became my life. I don't want to be this person. If I could, I'd just drive this van all the way to the coast, lie down on the beach, and never come back. What about Stella and Reese? It sounds like your family is holding you back on purpose. No. I like this. Do it. Just get out of here and take me with you. Kaneeka is quiet for a moment, staring out at the overgrown parking lot. Maybe tomorrow. Stella made all those ghost hunting plans. I can't just skip out on her like that. But yeah, tomorrow. Definitely tomorrow. Oh my god, I love it! I love this scene. The two of them planning to run away together. There's so much... Even if you take it in a romantic sense, there's so much yearning, there's so much longing, but there are both of those things in a platonic sense too. The yearning to be somewhere else. And it's really beautiful. Ugh. And it means so much to Willow too, you just know it does. And yeah, you can come with. God, and of course I feel like an asshole for talking about all of this now, the morning after a mine collapse. But I guess that's what pushed all of this over the edge. Nothing like a major disaster to make you question the direction your life has taken, right? I wouldn't have met you if you hadn't stuck around. It's not all bad. You're right. I guess some good things can come from messed up situations. But I've already met you. More reason for us to leave tomorrow, I guess. Alright, we're not gonna push it. We're not gonna push getting out of here today. Are we... because she mentioned it. So, ghost hunting tonight. It's why I'm still here, right? I'm still pretty sure there are no such thing as ghosts, but I'm starting to lose a little bit of that conviction. After last night, and after seeing those ditch things in the road, Kaneeka visibly shudders. Here's hoping it's just the pipes or something. I don't need to see any more supernatural shit this week. If I see a ghost tonight, I'm gonna have a panic attack. And here I thought I could lean on you to be the brave one. I already had my adrenaline rush for the month. If this ghost tries to jump out at me, I'm gonna make it wish it had never been unborn. I thought you were a skeptic. You seem a lot more open about the supernatural than you were yesterday. Makes sense, doesn't it? A true skeptic is also skeptical of their own biases, and always ready to admit when they're wrong. I'm going in with an open mind. Besides, I've always wanted to believe in magic. Like, back when we were kids and still making videos together, I was embarrassingly into it. There are probably still videos on YouTube of middle school me genuinely trying to transform into a Sailor Scout. Please don't look them up. I know a cute couple thing we're gonna do later. We're gonna watch those videos today together. I thought that if magic was real and I figured out how to use it, I'd actually be able to leave this town. Kaneeka stares at the ground, embarrassed. I just wanted to get isekai'd, you know? I guess being good at school was enough to make that happen in its own way, even if I wound up stuck in the same hole I managed to dig myself out of. I don't remember her saying she wanted to get isekai'd before. Are we still going over to Reese's place today? Oh, right! With everything going on, I almost forgot. Yeah, I think that's around 4. Here's hoping he's still up for it. I'm dying to know what he's been up to in that little dungeon room of his. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't worried about the guy, even with everything else that's been going on. I do ship Kaneeka and Reese, I really do. That's why I have this whole OT3 thing happening in my head, but Willow isn't gonna flirt with Reese. She's gonna see him, she's gonna be like, seems like a cool guy, we could be friends. Then chapter 4 is gonna happen and she's gonna be like, I'm into him. But at that point, hopefully, she'll already have romance lock Kaneeka, so... In my mind, she and Kaneeka pursue a romantic relationship first, and then Reese joins in at some point. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing in my mind that will not be canon in the game itself. Any tips for making a good first impression? I don't think you need to worry about making a good impression. If I know Reese, he'll be way too worried about his own shit to even think to be offended by anything you say. Even if you insult his art, he'd probably just think he deserved it, the poor guy. Don't do that, by the way. It would be like kicking a puppy. What kind of art does he do? Really dark stuff. It's good, though. The guy's terrible at getting it out there. Not that I blame him, but it's the sort of stuff that'll blow up the second he dies. Which hopefully won't be for a very long time. Sorry to get a little macabre. It's very Goya, you know? The guy who had those black paintings hidden within the walls of his home. That's obviously a big inspiration for Reese as a character, and his paintings specifically. He's so mysterious. I can't wait to meet the strange basement man. I'm glad you found his Phantom of the Opera vibes intriguing. It's probably going to be good for him to meet new people. Maybe it'll get him to leave his underground fortress every now and then. You remain silent. Let's talk about Rosalina. Have you heard about what happened to Rosalina? They apparently had to do an amputation. Holy shit. I knew that injury looked serious, but I didn't think it'd be that bad. That poor kid. I guess it's good that we all get out of there. It probably could have gone a lot worse. But that's easy for me to say. I'm not the one in the hospital right now. It's just not fair. Share a quiet moment. A soft breeze blows across the lot as you and Kaneeka share a quiet moment. She's so pretty. And she's got so much stuff in her van. Cool nerdy stuff and organizational supplies. What are you hiding back there, Neeks? Both your phones buzz in unison. You reach for them at the same time. Almost forgot, it's Mayor Jimmy Day! Good excuse to head over to the library. We should check in with Oscar. Meet y'all there in half an hour. Wow, I totally blanked on the Mayor Jimmy thing. It's almost like we just went through a traumatic event or something, and I'm not on top of my schedule. But Stella's right. This gives us a chance to meet up with Oscar, and Mayor Jimmy's awful cute. Flirt, but is he as cute as me? Why is... I don't know. Are these good flirt lines? They're not marked as flirt, so I don't know if she'll like them. We'll just ask the question. Why is meeting the mayor such a big event? You'll find out soon enough. I won't spoil the fun. Anyways, we'll chill with Mayor Jimmy, go to Reese's for dinner, then do some ghost hunting tonight. Thank God we have so much going on today. I really needed the distraction. And thanks for letting me vent earlier. It helped. Shall we? Go to the library. You and Kaneeka make your way to the library. It's busier than usual, and a small crowd has formed in the corner of the main foyer. Wasn't that lovely? I feel like no one in the world has seen Kaneeka's hangout because everyone hates her for some reason. It's almost like she and Tabitha are very similar characters, but there's like one difference between them that I can't put my finger on that makes them not like Kaneeka but like Tabitha. I don't know. It's puzzling me. Let's see if you can figure it out. Anyway. Yes, the whole gang's here. I've been waiting to introduce Willow to the mayor for like the entire time I've known her. I've never gotten to introduce someone to the mayor before. It'll be worth it, trust us. Alright, shall we? He's a dog. You can tell this dog is the mayor from his little sash and his fancy top hat. There's a regal air about him, almost as if he knows the position of authority he's been elected to. You haven't met the serious man by his side, but you have to assume that he's the mayor's handler. This scene is not going to be anywhere near as funny without Gretchen here. Good morning, citizen. I don't believe we've met. He holds out his paw as if to shake your hand. He's a dog. And you're an ape, and yet here I am, the big dog in charge. He's the mayor. I'm so glad no one ruined the surprise. This town has had a dog as mayor since the early 1900s. That's just how we do things around here for some reason. It's the best part of living in Scarlet Hollow, besides the nature. And all my friends, and Winnie's Biscuits. Oh, and the close-knit small-town community, of course. But having a dog mayor is a close fifth, no contest. Now, is there something I can help you with? You're not one of my constituents. I'd like to make sure I spend plenty of time with the voters. We're doomed, aren't we? We're doomed, aren't we? Doomed? No way, not while we're on the case. Scarlet Hollow has lasted since at least the early 1900s with a dog in its highest seat of power, so I don't think that's what'll make or break things. Maybe a dog mayor is good luck, who knows. If you're here about the pet disappearances, I've been made aware of the situation. But what do you expect me to do about it? It's autumn. That's tourist season in Scarlet Hollow. I can't turn away the lifeblood of this town, not with the mine faltering the way it is. There was a mine collapse yesterday. We don't need any more news of disaster coming out of Scarlet Hollow, do you understand? You're very well spoken. I can see how you got elected. Wait, how do you know what's going on? She's kind of shaken by the whole thing, so she mentions that she lets it slip that she can talk to animals. I'm the mayor. I keep up to date with what's going on among my constituents, and while it's unfortunate that there seems to be something amiss in Scarlet Hollow, I'm a pillar of this community. I need to present myself as strong, calm, and collected in the face of danger, otherwise it might cause a panic. And nobody wants that, right? Alright, you've had your turn with the mayor, now move along and keep the line going. And by the way, I know you were up at the mine collapse last night. I may be off duty, but I'd be remiss if I didn't let you know what I've got my eyes on you. All of you. Let's hope the rest of your stay in town is a little less conspicuous. Franklin doesn't give the little speech when Gretchen is here yapping. He needs to shuffle us out much quicker. What are you, a cop? As a matter of fact, I am. Stella and Kaneeka quickly shuffle out of the room ahead of you, leaving you to follow. Follow them. I'm gonna take another sip of water. It looks like everyone else is already talking to Oscar in the next room. Before you can catch up to your companions, you're intercepted by a nervous man with a cross around his neck. Whoever he is, You can feel his desperation to make a good first impression. A self-sustained and self-fulfilling prophecy. Oh, Pastor Daniel, I think that he and Willow are similar in more ways than the most obvious way. Although, there's obviously something supernatural causing Daniel's, the distaste that Daniel causes in everyone else, and the distaste that Willow believes everyone feels about her, is not supernatural. I'm sorry, I forgot where that sentence was going for a second. But I salvaged it. I'm Pastor Daniel. I take it you're Willow? Everyone's been buzzing about you. I'm so sorry about your aunt, but I'm sure she's in a better place now. So this is actually not a question I ever really asked myself. What is Willow's religion? I don't think she's, like, super religious. Like, I've been hoping to find a priest. I don't think she would say I don't believe in an afterlife either, because she can talk to animals. Of course she would believe in less than natural things like that. So, let's not kid ourselves. We both know Pearl Ann's in hell. Oh, I'm sure she wasn't that bad. Most people are good deep down inside. It's best not to speak ill of the dead. Hey, do you know anything about ghosts? Ghosts? I've never encountered one myself, but I have heard stories of folks who have been visited by their loved ones from beyond the grave, and it seems like I provide some with a sort of spiritual healing. Like their beloved relatives are watching over them even in death. Is this about Pearl Ann, or perhaps your mother? Have you been visited by her? Talking about Pearl Ann and Vivian. I mean real ghost stuff. Scary stuff. I prefer to think ghosts are our loved ones, reaching out to us from heaven to let us know we don't need to worry about them, and that we'll be reunited one day. Sure, that can sometimes frighten people, but holy visitations often do. We must remember to be not afraid of that we don't understand. I think I'm like 99% sure, actually I'm 100% sure, I've seen this before, that you don't have to take the talk to animals option here for Daniel to realize that you can talk to animals. And I don't think that Willow would take this option. She's let her guard down a little bit around Kaneeka and Stella, who she's gotten to know a little bit better and has been in stressful situations with. But some random stranger, and one who's laying it on real thick at that, is not someone she would let her guard down around, so she's just gonna remain silent. You have nothing more to say to this man. Don't worry. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I just thought I'd extend the offer in case you needed someone to talk to. The church's doors are open if you ever change your mind. Have a blessed day, Willow. The pastor leaves you be and joins the line to see the mayor. Nothing to do now but catch up with your companions. Oh my god. Poor Rosalina. I can't even imagine how scary this has been for her. She seems in high spirits right now, but they've got her on some pretty strong pain medication, so I'm not sure how she's going to feel when that wears off. And it was the whole foot? Yeah, it's bad. But she's alive. We'll both be able to move on from this. We just have to get through the tough parts first. Tabitha told me what happened this morning, but I didn't realize it was so bad. Yeah, there was nothing left to save, they said. Sorry, I can't think about it right now. Oscar. I'm sorry to cut our conversation short, but I better get going. I was only supposed to come back to pick up a few things, but then the hospital called and said there'd been some big bus accident on the highway, and they need the bed, so I have to come pick her up. Even though our house is still haunted and the only place she can lie down until then is the dirty back room that drove her away in the first place, and Mayor Jimmy Day is happening, and sorry. I'm just a little overwhelmed. I love how they always bold and italicize Mayor Jimmy Day. It's okay, Oscar. We're here to help. Yeah, we're gonna get that ghost. We could always go ahead and do a ghost bust or whatever we're calling it while you're out, and she'd be able to go right back to her old room as soon as she got back. That's probably a good idea, right? If only. But it doesn't come out during the day. So any busting attempts are going to have to wait until nightfall. I'm still not even sure we can get rid of it at all. I think I'd have to see for myself that it was gone. It managed to trick me a couple times, and I can't handle any more surprises right now. I've got every ghost hunting device known to man. You're in good hands, Oscar. Don't worry, Oscar. We'll fix this. Heck yeah, we will. Yeah, whatever this is, we'll get to the bottom of it tonight. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. I'm heading out. It should be dark by the time we get back, so I suppose I'll see y'all then. Oscar hurries off, car keys jingling as he jogs out the door. Let's head up to Reese's. Maybe we can get him to come ghost hunting with us. Oh no, you're not going to try to get Dr. Kelly to let him leave the house, are you? She'll kick us out for even asking. I wonder if he even knows what happened last night. I don't know how disconnected he is from the news around town. Jeez, should we tell him? Gosh, I don't know. Maybe we just play it by ear. Anyway, shall we? Talk to animals, explore. So about the mayor. No, let's not bring it up. So I finally met Pastor Daniel. It was only a matter of time until he tried to pull you aside about grief counseling. When my dad died, I had to ban him from the general store for a week. He wouldn't stop leaving these little pamphlets at the checkout. I don't know where he finds so many. I think he just really wants people to like him. But he comes off as desperate. It's a vicious cycle. Aw, when you put it like that, his whole situation is kind of sad. Even if that's the case, it doesn't mean I have to like him. Whatever his deal is goes a step beyond trying too hard to get people to like him. The man was grinning through all of my dad's funeral. He's not normal. And I don't mean that in a stigmatizing mental illness kind of way. There's just this little siren that goes off every time I see him that tells me to get away from him. That's exactly how I would describe it too. The whole town feels the same way. Now that I think about it, he must be pretty lonely. He can look for friends somewhere else. Let's invite Avery. We spent a little bit of time with them yesterday. They seem pretty cool. Should we invite Avery ghost hunting? Oh, huh. Sure, I guess. The more the merrier, right? Maybe there'll be an extra voice of reason. We won't be much help to Oscar if we start jumping at our own shadows. Cool. I'll text them on the way over to Reese's. Head to Reese's. Alright, shall we head out? The three of you leave the library for an early dinner at Reese's. Alright, and I think that we're gonna have this dinner next time. And meet Reese. The third point in our little OT3 triangle. But not canon in this playthrough, unfortunately. But until then, I have been Mars, and I will be back with more Scarlet Hollow.